I remembered to record. I'm so excited for our Zoom tonight. This is really, really special. So for me, for Meredith, not so much, but for me, this was a long time coming. And for me, I mean, I hope she prayed for us, but for me, I've prayed for her to be a part of our company. And I'm just really, really excited of the things that's happening. So just so you guys know, say hi. First of all, we're going to talk about a lot of really good stuff. So I want you guys to say hi. And I want you guys to pick your emoji. So whatever emoji it is for you, that is kind of like the yes, or the fire, or like the, oh my God, or like the crying face when there's like a, when we talk about things that maybe like hit you or pertain to you, make sure that you kind of let us know below, like what really like hits for you. Cause I think it's really important. So I just, and I'll say one thing and then I'll let Meredith kind of introduce herself a little bit, and then we're going to dive into a really awesome conversation that I think will kind of be a little bit similar to the one that her and I had just a few weeks ago, and it was really amazing. And for her, it's like, why are we already doing this? But that's why I'm so excited for what we're going to be talking about. So I want you guys to know that it's been 9 years. It's 9 years in just a couple months that I started my business, and I was only 23 or something like that. And I had one kid, and Levi was just like a little baby nugget. And it's so exciting to see, like, over the last 9 years of all the things that we've done and all the things that we've accomplished. And I want you guys to know that if you've made more than $50 with your business ever, like, you're already making more money with network marketing than most people ever do, because they give up on themselves far too quickly. My first paycheck was $47. And I could have been just the other person that quit. And because I didn't, my whole life has changed, And so I want to praise you guys for not giving up, even if you haven't made a single dollar, because obviously there's so much more that comes with this business than just money, but no one started this to like not make money. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad you like the friendship. That's really good. But ultimately you are here so that way it enhances your life financially in some way, shape, or form. So I got to unmute you here. I have to ask consent. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear from Meredith tonight. And I hope you guys your first checks were like $30. Exactly. Did it unmute you?
It did.
Yay. All right, Meredith. So everybody say hey to Meredith. Can you tell us all about you? So she's our chief sales officer, and she's just like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Well, those are high accolades, and I so appreciate it. And I hope I live up to it. But here's the thing. We all have our faults and flaws. So I'm going to say, let's adjust it a little. I'll be happy with if I get like, an 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. So 10 out of 10, that's pretty high, but thank you so much. And I am so grateful, y'all, for our leadership in the field. We have phenomenal leaders like Jade, and I'm so excited to be able to lock arms with each and every single one of them, as well as each and every single one of you. So thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight to hear a little bit from me. I'll tell you just like a brief few highlights about me, and then we'll dive in, because I know that we have a lot to dive into. So I tell people all the time, I grew up in this channel. So drop a 1 for me in the chat if this is the first time you have ever been a part of any direct sales company. Drop a 1 in the chat if this is your first direct sales company. Oh my goodness, I love it. I was scrolling through the pages, and there's so many people on. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love the fact that we have so many new people to this channel. This is a channel that I absolutely love, because quite honestly, I don't know of another industry or channel out there that allows you to believe that the sky is the limit. We can only put limits on ourselves, to give us a product that we are passionate about, that we can go out and share and earn money to whatever we choose. And I love how Jade said, her first check, like, she probably never imagined she would be to where she's at, and yet she's still dreaming for more, because she sees that there's still so much more. And so that's something I love about this channel. I grew up in this channel. I actually been in this channel a little over 20 years. Some of you probably were like, I was barely born, like Jade. But I've been in this channel a little over 20 years. I started when I was 9. So go ahead and do the math. I'm totally fine with it. No. But I started back in the day of like knocking on doors. We did not have this great device, let alone social media. And so I have had a great experience of starting my own direct sales company, being in the field a couple of different times, growing great organizations, as well as I've been with great companies that you've probably heard of and companies that you probably will never hear about because they failed to launch. But I share that because I want you guys to know, like, I've been around the block a few times, and the great thing about that is I've had the great pleasure of learning and seeing the analytics and the statistics side and learning what makes companies thrive in this channel. And I will tell you a couple of things that really stuck out to me about It Works. I remembered this company launching a little over 21 years ago now, and when I was just coming into the channel myself. And the history of this company providing consumable products, that's key right there, okay? You guys need to understand you are in a company of consumable products, meaning that you got to refill this every single month, right? An efficacious company, products that do what they say they're going to do. That's also key. But not only that, we have an amazing compensation plan. And this is more of what we're going to talk about in just a little bit. We have an amazing compensation plan that pays like none other out there in the channel. We've just got to learn to unlock it so that we can take full advantage of it. And then last, but certainly not least, and one of the key things that led me here. So for me, I always look for a couple of things of companies that I want to partner with. And I've done such a beautiful job in my career with partnering with great companies, iconic companies. Again, some that may be failure to launch, but companies that I still learned from. The thing here is that here we are with a product that works, that's efficacious, a compensation plan that pays, and leadership that is pouring into us to make us go to the next level, to not make us go, but to allow us to grow to the next level should we choose to. So I'm so excited to be here and to be a part of the It Works family. What I mean by the channel is direct sales. We are in a channel of direct sales, and I refer to it as a channel because of this. Just a little, for those of you who you're like, you might have somebody who goes, oh, you're part of a network marketing company, or you're part of one of those companies, that company. Here's the thing. Nobody bats an eye at the fact that Amazon is in the channel that they're on. You go to their website, you order their products, and it directly ships to your door. We have the exact same thing. You go to our websites, you order our products, and they ship directly to your door. But we utilize the channel of word to mouth versus traditional advertising, and therefore you are in the direct sales channel. So anytime somebody is like, oh, you're in one of them companies, I never try to combat. So that's just a little, a little overcoming objections training I just threw in there. I never combat that. I talk about channels that they understand and know and that they use daily. I use daily too. I just love the fact that we get to pay you all for sharing about it versus paying millions to an advertising agency. So there you go.
I love that. Okay. So we're going to dive in.
Yep, let's dive in.
Okay. Cause the one thing that I came to Meredith. So how long have you guys been with the company? Comment below, tell me your highest paid ranks. This is what I can tell you. And I can say it because I know it. It's the truth. I know Meredith's just going to say yes. Then we're going to move on from it. We have the best compensation plan out of network marketing, period. It just is what it is. That's number one. Number two, there are no other companies that have people that enroll in the amount of people, the amount of customers that we enroll, and really probably even business partners as well. There's just no other company that does the exact same thing. So what we're going to talk tonight about, I'm going to say new, but for now on, it's not going to be new. It's just going to be the way. That's okay. So this is just it from here on out. How many of you guys are like, I have a vision for my life and I'm willing to just do what I do best. And I'm just willing to work so hard and just enroll and do what I'm already doing. but do it in a way where I am just maximizing this compensation plan, this like beautiful compensation plan, to where you're going to have incredible people that come into your business. You're going to have people who, I mean, just like stay for a short amount of time because that's just what they do. But no matter what anybody else does, you just stay so consistent and you're able to maximize all of it to be able to make an incredible paycheck. And I'm talking like, just like incredible, like just insane monthly figures. And I'm not making claims, but insane monthly figures just because you know how to do the work, but like where you're putting the pieces just makes so much more sense. I know that not a single person on this Zoom is afraid of hard work as long as you're getting paid for it. And that's what we're going to like adjust. So for here, yes, amen. So for here on out, this is what we're going to be talking about. And so I want to talk about that, like placement. And it's a scary thing, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of people we have people who are high enrollers who are just trying to do everything with a success bonus. We have people who are making the success bonus like happen on purpose, but they're not like training. And you guys, we have the best training. I literally made a training academy for you. Like I trained a huge majority of the leaders who are triples and presidentials and ambassadors through my YouTube, like inadvertently. I didn't even know that I was like doing it. You know what I'm saying? But so you have the best train. It's not even just me. I mean, we have like 20 people who are in the top 10 or top, that wouldn't even make sense. Top 100 on our team. Like you have the best of the best of the best of the best. It's just what you're doing with it. Okay. So let's talk about building. Cause my favorite thing that you said, you were like, Jade, every company has ranks, but you guys are like obsessed with it in a way that just like is kind of crazy. And it's like kind of messing us up a little bit.
Well, ranks are such a good thing. Okay. And I love the fact that we have so many seasoned distributors on. And I also love there's a couple of newbies. I saw somebody say they joined yesterday. So I also want to make sure we're not going way over the top, but really keeping it very, very understandable and duplicatable. So here's the thing. I'm going to ask this weird question first. How many of you all have kids? How many of y'all have kids? Like drop a me, a hand. Yeah. Okay. A lot of y'all have kids. Oh, twins. Dear Lord. Well, God bless you double, all at once. And I'll say a prayer for you later. 3 boys. I love this. Okay. For those of you with kids, I will tell you, I am the aunt that gets to spoil. But I love this example of kids because here's the thing. A lot of times when somebody gets pregnant, they start to dream about how they're going to be as a parent. Or if you start to plan to become pregnant, you start to dream how you're going to be as a parent, right? Never goes that way, but we still think about it, right? We're like, okay, this is the type of parent we're going to be. I'm not going to do what my mother did, or I'm going to do it better or whatever. But you start to role model what you want. And that's what we're going to talk about right here, because from day one, right? The newbie who just started, you just found out, girl, I'm not saying you're pregnant, but you just found out like you are going to be a role model. And that means that you have to role model what you want to see duplicate from the second you start your business. And you want to make sure that you're working smarter. Because this business, whether you started yesterday or whether you started 6 years ago, you can get into a cycle that can start to wear you out. And that's with anything, absolutely anything. We've all been in jobs where we've gotten tired or whatnot, but we've also been in jobs when it's new or when things are exciting or when you start to see things going really well that just continue to drive you and continue to excite you to go. So for those of you who are new or who have been with us quite a few years, I want you to start thinking of the charts that we have as guidelines as you start to role model the behavior for the team that you're going to be bringing on of what you want them to do. And here's what I mean by that. Every single time, and I want to share some numbers, not to scare you, but to give you some awareness, right? Because awareness is powerful to help you continue to build correctly. So, here's the thing. If you are brand new, your numbers are going to be a little bit different. You're going to be excited and talking to people about this new product and this new company and this new thing. And your number, like you're going to get people who are like, yes, I want to support you. Sign me up. I'm interested in those products. I see the results that you're getting. If you're 6 years in, you might have had that phase in the very beginning. But now you're seeking a little bit differently. You're growing a little bit differently. You know, you're having more strategic conversations, and you might not have people as quickly coming to you. So as you start to build, I want you guys to think of this. Out of 10 people that you're going to talk to, you're going to have a handful say yes to the products, because we only do two things in this business. We offer the products and we offer the opportunity. That's it. They're offers, right? Those are the two things that we do. So out of 10 people, you're going to have a handful who go, yes, I want to be a part of getting great products and getting my own results. And then you're also going to have a couple of people who say, you know what? I'm interested in the business. Now, with that being said, as you build, you want to role model from the example of do what I do. And everything that you do is teaching them. From the second you reach out, it's teaching them, whether it's a prospect for the product or a prospect for the opportunity. Every single touch point is training them. So always remember that. With that being said, you guys, as you're bringing people into the business, I want you to use the charts that we have as a great guidance of, as you grow your business widthwise, you start to unlock things as they start to duplicate what you are doing, because that's a great way to build. Because here's the thing, those of you with kids, I'm pretty sure you don't eat their food for them, right? They eat their food for their nutrition, for their growth. And so we want to make sure that we show somebody how to eat, how to feed their business, but we don't do it for them. We teach them how to posture, just like I did a second ago with overcoming the objection of, are you one of those businesses? You want to give them the words and the tools to say, but you want to take the pressure off of doing it for them so that they can learn, so they can do for themselves. And it is all about posturing. And when you do that, I want you guys to imagine you get 10 people direct to you. And let's say 5 of those people get 10 people under them, because you're teaching them how to do it. You're helping them with the training. You're helping them understand what they need to do. All they need to do is 2 things: share the business and share the products. That's it. And as they have more and more conversations, they will start to build their business. And then as people come in, they start to build their business. And then as you start to see that duplication happening while you're showing the way, because you've got to be the first model. Once you start doing that, you're going to start seeing that chart that we have unlock the ranks, unlock the pay, and then you're going to start seeing what is called organic growth. The thing that can be really difficult is when we decide to do for somebody. Has anybody ever had somebody do something for them that they were excited to maybe go out and do and learn, but then somebody came along? I will tell you all, like my husband, bless his heart, I love my husband so much. But the other day I said to him, oh, I'm going to go out and fix this. And he said, I've got it. And I thought, last I checked, I know how to use a saw and a hammer, and I'm good with the table saw and everything. I'm not going to chop off my thumbs. I am totally fine. I have built things my entire life. I know how to change my own oil. I know how to change tires on a car. Like, I got this, right? And he was like, no, I want to make sure that I keep my skills polished so that I can continue to do the things I want to do. Heaven forbid, Jesus takes you home because, I might get my gun out. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't do that. No. I'm just like, but here's the thing. I take pride in the fact of doing for myself too. And I want to encourage you all, as you're posturing, think about those who who take pride in doing for themselves and feeling the accomplishment. We've seen it for those of you with kids. I've seen it with my niece and nephew. I don't go out and play their sports for them. I I cheer them on. I am their biggest cheerleader, and I will be the one yelling at the referee when they totally make a bad call against them. But I take pride for the work that they have put in, of the training that has happened, listening to those who are coaching them, and then going out and applying the skill. And that's what we get to do. As you guys start to do that, you're going to start to see your organization continue to grow. And so I just really want to encourage you all, as you're thinking about your year. And I saw somebody say they have 50 people on their first and second level. That's exactly what you want to do, because here's the thing. You guys, I also want to encourage you to build beyond the minimums, because here's what will happen. You will have people come into this business who say yes to themselves for the first time ever. Matter of fact, I want to ask if you guys would be so vulnerable. How many of y'all were scared to death to become the CEO of yourself in this business? You were scared to death of it. Terrified. Oh yes, me, 100%. Kind of scared you a little bit. And here's the thing. It's hard to say yes to yourself and to dream a little bit bigger, because here's the thing. Most companies and most JOBs out there, they're not asking you, what do you want out of life? They're not asking you, do you want more time with your family? They're not asking you, do you want to exceed the limit that has been put on you by somebody? They're not asking you that, but we are. And this business gives you the opportunity to hope and to dream beyond what you ever thought, outside of the limits of somebody saying, you're just a really good hairdresser, or you're just really good at this. It takes that away. And here we get to say, you can be anything. You can do anything. You get to set your limits and you can apply that, right? And so with that being said, as you guys start to share this opportunity and unlock that for people, I want you to also remember that can be terrifying to people. So they might be in today, but like Jade said a little bit ago, she could have seen that $47 and she could have been like, man, this is terrifying to me. I'm out. I'm not going to believe in myself anymore. And that's okay. There are people that this is a season. Maybe they just needed a little bit of hope for a minute, but they'll come and go. So with that being said, as you're growing, you're going to have some people who stay with you for a lifetime, and you're going to have some people who are here with you for a season, and you're going to have some people who are here for a reason. That reason might be a leadership learning lesson for yourself, or it could just be a learning lesson for them. It might be for a season of a year or two, and they decide, you know what, we're going to move on. That's okay. But you've got to understand for you, what do you want? So we're always going to start off with like, what is your why? What do you want out of this business? What do you want to achieve? What do you want? What goal wise do you want to achieve? Because a why and a goal are two separate things. One's attainable, which is your goal, and one is a personal driver, which is your why and your purpose. As you start to identify that, I want you to start thinking about, okay, well, now that I have that, how can I go offer that to other people in a way that encourages them, and then posture myself to give them the tools that they need. And Jade has provided it. You guys, Jade has an entire training platform. So she is saying, here's everything you need. You get to take that and you get to go offer that to other people, and they get to decide whether they pick it up and decide to go about it the same way. And from there, here's what I have seen in my past. Okay. We do have one of the best compensation plans I have ever seen, ever. I'm not blowing smoke. I mean it. I can tell you percent-wise, it pays higher percentage payout than a previous company that I was with, where people were working hard for 4, 5, 6 years, but their earnings were triple and double to where we can go to. I mean, we have some leaders making phenomenal paychecks, but here's the thing. We haven't even scratched the surface because we are still in our growth phase. So as you guys are starting to dream and think about what this can be for you, take the limits off. Make sure that you are going out there training to allow them to pick up this business for what it means for them and to go out and to build their business. Don't do the work for them. Don't take that away from them. That's like handing them a participation trophy. Allow them to really go in and pour into their business and to build. Because again, we haven't even scratched the surface. In North America alone, I want to paint this picture just a little bit. In the US alone, in the US, take out Canada, take out Mexico. In the US alone, you guys, we have 3 states in particular that these states in other companies that I've been with not even that great of products, good products, but we have really great products that you guys, visible results, like insane visible results. They had good products too. I'm not going to lie. They had good products. We have great products. We offer a phenomenal discount that I've never seen for customers, for them to come in. And I know for a fact 3 states are worth about quadruple what they're producing right now, because we have cities, states, we have so many locations that have yet to even have a diamond within our compensation plan, which means there is so much room for growth. This is one of the fastest growing, not just the channel itself of direct sales. This is the fastest growing product category, one of the top 5 fastest growing product categories, health and wellness. When you start thinking of the stress and the stuff that people are going through right now, you start thinking about how gyms were shut down and everything. You guys, we have not even scratched the surface. We haven't scratched the surface on our potential as far as the market share that we can tap into, nor have we even remotely scratched the surface on what this compensation plan can pay out. However, here's the thing. You've got to build in a way that sets the tone and the posture for your team to follow. You are a role model from the moment you start this business. So ask yourself, how am I showing other people to grow and to lead and to build for themselves? Am I feeding them? Am I force feeding the baby? Those of you with kids, or if you've ever tried to force feed a baby, we all know what happens there. Yes? I mean, they spit it out. It's all over the place. Barely any gets in their mouth. Or are we teaching them to feed themselves? That's what I want to ask you guys, because one will nourish them for a lifetime and the other will not.
So I want to give you guys some numbers, because this is the conversations, because when we talked about this, I said, I want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. That's really like, okay. So that's me.
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys are at, but that's what I want to do. And so here's some of the statistics. I love Chelsea's face. She was like, damn girl, me too. I saw it up there. Okay. She's like, I almost peed my pants in my bed. So here's the game plan. Okay. So number 1 is, like she says, we're going to go wide. And I know that how many of you guys are like, but my people don't do anything. You've got to, if you're going to do 2 things. If you've been doing this for a long time, you're going to do one of 2 things. Number 1, if you're making any sort of, substantial income with this business, and I'm talking like $1,000 or more, whether it's from your commission check or your bonuses, whatever it is, you're in a really unique position because you already have some income coming in. So, and if you've been doing this business for a while, this is so important that you guys hear me on this. You're either going to do this or you're not. You're just going to continue to do what you've been doing. And if you continue to do what you've been doing, you're going to continue to feel how you feel. How is that? Burnt out, annoyed, because you're like, no one works, but you're not putting them in a position to work for themselves, because you're just like, how can I make all this happen myself? Like, you're just, you know what I mean? So that's number 1. We're going to change how we're building. I already have the systems. When Meredith was like, well, you're going to need a way to communicate with everybody, and you're going to need a way to have duplicatable like training. I was like, well, let me tell you what I have. I have this, this, and this. She's like, perfect. Okay. So when you enroll your people, you're going to essentially keep them top line. And so you're going to be supporting many people, but you're going to plug them in to the systems and trainings that are there for them. Where are my people at? How many of you guys are personally enrolled by me? They're put into these systems. I have new people, and it's not that I'm not helping them, but they have everything at their fingertips. Why do you think that these people need you to be a part of their business? They didn't start this for you. Like, they could give 2 shits about you. They're doing this for their family, and you're there to support them and direct them to the training, answer questions, help them, work them through that emotional stuff. So when I said, I want to make 6 figures, what does this look like? And she said that looking at the numbers in past companies, the statistics, and I love the statistics because like she said, that's power, that's knowledge. I don't think anybody's afraid of the numbers that we're talking about. It gives you something to like hit, right? So in past companies, when they were looking at people who were making that kind of income, they had about 2.5 to 3 times the amount of top line wide leadership positions, or like, specific ranks or whatever, legs or whatever, however you want to look at it, than what was minimally required. Right. So, I mean,
Yes.
even if you're talking about a 3-legged chart, which I don't like them anyways, but whatever, when I went ambassador, I had 5 legs. So in my brain, I'm thinking 15 wide. When I went ambassador, you guys, I had 21 personally enrolled diamonds and above. And I want to like put this into your perspective. 21 personally enrolled diamonds and above, had I left them on my top line, I would have had 210,000 in volume and like 9% like bonus on every single person's GV. My check would have been more than it's ever been, like ever. And I think there is so much fear. And I do want to ask you about that. Like there is so much fear. How many of you guys are like, I'm just scared. Like if I don't make this happen, I'm scared. I have friends that are in other companies, you guys, and they literally have thousands of people wide. But I will also tell you, and they're really good. We're better at enrolling than them, just so you know, like, and they make so much money. We're better at enrolling than they are, but it's just because from the get-go, they just did it differently. And this one person that I know that has thousands of people wide, you guys, she's got 40 something, like basically rubies on her top line. Do you really care if you're getting paid as an emerald if you have like 40 rubies on your top line? Do you know how much money you'd be making regardless, because of how incredible our compensation plan is? So the bank, like, you're just going to be making a lot of money, and exactly, your paychecks are going to be fat. Do you care if you're making $30,000 as an executive or like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? It really, the accolades, we have to stop holding on to the accolades as if they're like the purpose and meaning of life, because it's not. Your purpose and meaning is your burning desire of why you're here in the first place. So that's number one. Number two, the other really empowering thing that Meredith explained to me was that kind of on average, 1 out of every 10 people that you get started in your business will go diamond eventually. And now I'm not talking like they came out of the womb running. I'm just talking like in general, like at some point they'll go diamond, but that also doesn't mean that like the other 9 are just like, no, I mean, you know what I mean? So we're going to love people where they're at. Even if you had, I wrote these numbers down. If you over 1 year's time, you enrolled 10 distributors a month, let's say over 1 year's time, that means that on average, you would have about 10 diamonds on your top line. Okay. 10 really, really good people, like 10 people who are like, just, they're fiery. They want to be their own CEO. They're like the Jade Hoopers, right? They're other Jade Hoopers. So we have a leader who we're connected to who has 10,000 in personal volume. So I want you to imagine if you had out of 100, only 10 of them were really good at enrolling and doing their thing, and they're just high impact enrollers. If you have 10 people on your top line that have 10,000 each in volume, you're looking at 10,000 in volume or 100,000 in volume alone on your level 1, that your bonus commission for coaching them would be $15,000 alone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, you guys are probably like, well, that's annoying because I've had that before, but I was afraid that Marge wasn't going to build herself to executive on my level 7. So I put people underneath them where I don't even get paid. So the cool thing about building like this too is, there will just be some people. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. There will be someone will be here. They'll only be here for 6 months. I don't know how else to say it. Or maybe there will be someone who comes in and it literally sets their soul on fire to buy $500 worth of products and just like make hella skinny brew cash. Like, who knows? You know what I mean? But if that's what they're going to produce, and let's say it's $400 or $200 or $500 or whatever that is, and that's really going to be their average. And if that makes them happy, that's amazing. You can honor that in the highest level for yourself because you're putting them in a place where you're going to be making the highest amount of money possible, which like, isn't that the point? Does that make sense? Like, that's the point.
Yep.
You know?
Well, and here's the quick thing too, is that you guys, how many of you all have placed somebody that you thought like, they're really not going to do anything?
Everybody that we
then you wake up and you're like, are you kidding me? Like, what? I gave her to you, right? And the person who you gave her to is like, and you're like, what? So it's one of those things too, like you never know the diamond in the rough that you're giving away. And here's the thing, so I love digging in. I will tell you, I didn't love for the longest time digging into numbers. I've learned to love numbers. But one of the things that, don't build to the minimums. I said that for a moment. Here's what I mean by that. You guys, you're going to have shakeout. You're going to have shakeout. If you want to get to a healthy place in your business that you don't have shakeout, that you are solid. We used to train at a couple of companies that I've been with, and it's something that I will be training on here as well, is like build yourself really wide. Give yourself room. One of my dear friends who is at another company, and she did this. She has signed hundreds of people directly to herself. With that, she has the equivalent of a little over 40, closer to 50 executive legs that would be here. Over 15 of them would be the equivalent of like our ambassador, double ambassador rank direct. Okay. Now she's got some rubies in there. She's got some emerald legs and whatnot, but I'm just kind of, now, did she have to grow that wide? No, she did not. But here's the thing, is that you never know when somebody's going to have a bad month and life is going to happen. And we've all had life happen. And that's the beauty of this business. When you build it to be super strong and wide, the beauty of this business is that when life happens, so for her, unfortunately, she lost her husband just recently. And she was able to say, you know what, I need to take like time out. I've built this amazing business. I have these great leaders under me. And I need to take a time out because life just hit, and it hit hard. And she needed to be able to take a moment. And because she had built her business in such a way. And so as I'm sharing, like, go wide, teach your people to feed themselves right? You can either teach a man to fish, or you can go fishing for the man. It's the same thing. When you teach that and when you share that with them, when life hits, the beauty of this channel is we get the opportunity to say, I get to take a time out. If we built it in a way that allows us to. Otherwise, you're trying to keep everything going when things happen. Now, not to say things won't happen as you're building. She had other things happen as she was building too. Her daughter got mono. Her daughter-in-law was in a horrible car accident and almost died. Like, other things were happening. But as she was building, her why and her goals were so big, because she was like, man, I've had a lot of hard life hit, and I need to get to a place where I can be able to say, like, my leaders have me. That's where we want you all to aspire to be, because it's possible. So, as Jade's sharing with you, as you guys are looking at what do you want? What do you want out of this business? I will tell you, we have an incredible compensation plan. We have great products. We honestly recruit more people. When I came in, like, seriously, at conference, I was like in little groups and people were like, oh, I enroll this many people every month. I was like, I've never heard of these numbers before. One girl, I looked at her and I go, oh, you mean your team? And she goes, no, me. And I was like, you what? And she was like, I enrolled that many people. I'm like, oh, in your lifespan here at the company? And she's like, no, last month. And I was just like, really? Because I will tell you, even myself in the business, I didn't enroll that many. Is what I did though, is I stayed consistent with enrolling. And you guys, here was my thing. My goal was no less than 3 DTs a month, 3. Okay. No less. Now, there were months I had 14, there were months I had 6, but no less than 3, because there is magic in the number of 3. And here's the thing, I'm going to tell you all. We have a program right now that really rewards to 3, not just 4 and a friend, but 4 and 3. Because here's the thing, you can enroll somebody, you can enroll 3 people, 3 DTs. You can enroll one with 4 friends, and you can get a bonus, right? And then they can go and enroll theirs. Do you know that if you enroll 3 and everybody goes out there and gets theirs, their tier 2, you guys will get paid on that? Like, it's not just 4 and 1, but you can do that 3 times. We're talking great money on the table. And here's the thing, we have the programs. This leads into success bonus that is on the table. This also, as you do 4 and a friend, you start to trigger your success bonus, because as you're doing and you're modeling, your people are going out and doing, then you're achieving the success bonus. This helps you model what needs to happen to build you to diamond. And even if you don't get to the Q10 bonus before April ends, that's okay, because here's the thing, you're doing the right things in the right order, and you're teaching the same thing for you to get there, and not just get there with the little amount of volume required to get there. And I love how somebody put a fat pH with fat volume that you are going to get more money on. This will also help you get to see la vie. So you guys, we've got the programs out there to put in the right habits and to build correctly. We've just got to make sure that we're doing what we are looking to do. It's always great to go for recognition. I get it, but recognize each other for what you guys are doing. How many of you on here, drop a quick one. How many of you on here, you have done at least tier 1 for and a friend? Drop a 1. Q10 on your way. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How many of you all have gotten a tier 2 bonus? Drop a 2. Drop a 2 for me. Oh my gosh. You guys, that is incredible. And I love that you're almost there. You're working on it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep working, but make sure that we're being the example and the role model. That is what this business is about. So as Jade's talking, you know, companies train their leaders, and you guys are leaders. You're on this call. You could have chosen not to be on this call. Leaders show up, and those who show up go up. That's just the bottom line. So claim that. Pour into yourself. Map out what you want to get. If it's 10 people in a month, let it be 10 people in a month. Again, no less than 3 is my recommendation. But if you guys go enroll 20 DTs in a month, go enroll 20 DTs, but pour back into them, plug them into the system. It is as easy as that. You don't have to show them by doing it for them. All you have to do is lead them to the water. Don't force them to drink. Lead them to it. Be okay with saying, hey, Jade, what is it that you would like out of this business? You want to make $500 this month? Great. Let's go ahead and set some expectations. If in a couple of days, Jade is AWOL and she's not replying back to me, you guys, this is what I used to say to my people. I would tell them, I would say, hey, Jade, I'm reaching back out because I really want to make sure that we're setting the right expectations so you're not disappointed in your goals. See, they weren't my goals. They were Jade's goals. And then I would say to her, I would say, we need to reevaluate your expectations to make that $500 because I haven't been able to connect with you. So let's go ahead and adjust it right now. If Jade didn't come back to me at all, she was just AWOL, I would still reach out to her and I would say, hey, I'm here. Whenever you're ready to pick up this business and run, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to continue to reach out to you and check in with you periodically. But just so you know, I'm here when you're here. After I walked somebody through for about 30 days, I will tell you, I would help them for about 30 days. And I would tell them when they joined, I would say, Jade, my goal here is to make sure that you have everything that I have in the next 30 days. You know where to go self-serve to drive your business for whatever it means for you. Wasn't about me. However, here's the thing, my posturing and then me going out and doing, and when people were like, oh my goodness, she signed another person, she signed another person, she signed 14 people. What? They were watching my feet, not just my mouth. So lead with that posture and make sure that you're doing everything you can to set them up for success, but also know the work is on them.
Okay, so a couple things. I know there's a
Shoot.
couple questions, and then I have a question because I know that there's people that this is like something that's ringing in their brain. So number one, you guys, this is what I'm doing. Okay, I've literally spent the last like 2.5 years investing in ways that you guys don't even understand that we've talked about on top 10 groups to figure out how to be a crazy busy mom. And I will be making multiple six figures monthly. Like, trust me when I say, to create systems, not just for myself, but for our team, our potential for my team, the potential distributor group, the VIP lounge, everybody has one on there. You guys all have, whether it's a training bot, we had that. And then I upgraded into the training academy. So how many of you guys have used that yourself and started using it for your new distributors? A big thing, a part of this is, how do I support the people? And that was actually like a really big issue for me as my team grew wide. Now, Meredith kind of made fun of me just a little bit about it because it's old, but it works so well for me. Is I've gotten all my team on Voxer, and I know a lot of you guys got on there, but for me, I love it. I love one-on-one, and you guys know I love talking, but for me personally, if you guys are in a space in your life where you can like Zoom one-on-one all day long and like whatever, but for me, it's not sustainable, and I start to hate it. And then if I go to Disney for a month, like I do every single year, then everybody's like, what am I supposed to do? So what I love with Voxer is that you can it's just voice messaging, but it takes everybody from being on text messaging, Facebook messaging, Instagram. It gets them all in one spot, and it's only business, and people can speed up the messages. So, Lindsay can send me a 7-minute message that I can listen to in 2.5 minutes. I can reply back to her a 15-minute long message that she can listen to in 7 minutes. We can be so thorough and just so back and forth. And I'm doing absolutely no one-on-one Zooms. I'm doing it at my earliest convenience, and it's called Voxer with a V. Okay. And we can talk about that more. So basically, I'm enrolling a distributor. I'm getting them added to our team page, and we're immediately getting on Voxer, where I do personal coaching there. And then I get them plugged into Kajabi, the training academy that's for my team, that teaches them exactly what to do. And then I'm just directing them. And that has everything that they could possibly need to know to work this business. And I do nothing, but they ask me questions, and I'm available, and I'm excited, and I direct them back, and I direct them back, and I direct them back, because I want my business to be like, if I fall off the face of the earth tomorrow, you can still feed your kids with your business. That's what I want. That's what I want for everybody. Right. Okay. So the question I know, I know this, because like I said, we have high impact people. So for the people who have been, they're like, but I've been enrolling for like 4 years. And I feel like I'm like barely, like making moves, or I'm like not maintaining the highest paid rank, and I'm making money, but I just feel like all of my energy, instead of feeling like I'm running downhill towards a vision, it feels like I'm using all of that energy to run uphill to like make it. And it's the same energy, but it just, one feels depleting and one feels nourishing. You know what I mean? That energy and that hard work. What would you say? Because I know a lot of it does come down to how you're building. And like you said, your posture, like when you're enrolling people and you're just trying to slap some crap together so that way you can just make ends meet this month, that's a totally different vibe than like, I am building a company. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
so I think people are going to be scared that they're going to enroll people. And it's like, what if I enroll 30 people and none of them work?
Okay, you guys, I love this question. And here's the thing, you might enroll 30 people and none of them work. I had a great friend of mine who enrolled a little over 150 people, not kidding. And she was like, how am I not getting any traction whatsoever? Couple of things. First off, she wasn't helping them at all. So we had to tweak a few things. And so I asked her, I said, are you coachable? Because if you're not coachable, I can't help you. You've got to be coachable and willing to say something isn't working. Like, what is it? And she was like, I'm to a point I am, because earlier on in her career, she wasn't. We looked at what was she saying? How was she helping them plug into a system, right? Because that's key. You've got to be willing to say, I am here for you. Put a time limit on it. Put some boundaries on there. You can't be there for them 24/7, because here's the thing, you're going to get the person who messages you about everything. Like, be honest, there was probably a couple of y'all who was like, even though Jade put out the Zoom link and everything, there was probably a couple of y'all who was like, hey, I saw it, but where is it again? Right? There's some people who will be on there for everything. That's okay. They're asking the right questions. It's when they're not asking questions or when there's nothing to plug them into that you guys have to pay attention to. So, but here's the other side of it. We tweaked a couple of little things, and like, honest to God, the next like 20 people she wound up enrolling became her leaders. Sometimes you get your kings all in your first hand of cards, and sometimes they're further on in the deck. You never know when they're going to show up, but that's why too, I am not big on stacking people, because if you place somebody who you think is not going to work out and you put them way down here and they pop, whoo, you just lost out on some cashola. So that's why I'm like, no, I'm here to teach people to build a business too, right alongside me. The next thing is this, you guys, if you're tired, how many of y'all, you are tired? Like, just be real with me. Like, put like an exhaustion emoji, put a hands up. Yeah. Yeah. If you're tired, okay. I love the honesty. So I'm going to drop this for you all. Okay. I love it. I love it. Okay. Some are fired up. Some are tired. Some are exhausted. I just want to work smarter. Okay. I love the authenticity. Here's the thing. You have to make a decision to flip your energy. You have to. I can't do that for you. I can tell you like, hey, Florida, California, and Texas are 150 to $200 million markets. We're not even scratching the surface. I can tell you that we have diamonds we don't have diamonds in hundreds of cities. That's not going to help you, because it's not going to help you make a decision to decide to flip the switch. You have to make a choice. And this is why your goals and your why are two major things you have to understand. I get being tired. When I started my first company, I was working 3 full-time jobs. 3. You guys, it was a hunger and a desire to not have to live that life for the rest of my life. And I made a decision. I knew that there was going to be sacrifices that I had to make. I knew I was going to have to say no to a lot of things that society says, especially for women, we should be saying yes to. You know, we should be saying yes to making sure of all this stuff. There is no such thing as work-life balance. I've got news, like newsflash, that doesn't exist. There is times of extreme hustle, and then there is times of rest, right? There was the Sabbath on one day a week. Let's just be real about it. One. So I always look at it as, what do you want your next 5 years to look like? Is it short-term pain for long-term gain? Or do you want to keep doing what you've always done and you'll get what you've always got? That's just how it goes. For me, it was a mental switch. I grew up in a trailer park in Podunk, Montana, where people left food and clothes on our doorstep and gave us a car. My dad dug ditches for $3 an hour. I have a GED, and I knew I did not want that for the rest of my life. And I made a decision, and it cost me blood, sweat, tears, and my time. But here's the thing. I now get to reap the rewards of what I sacrificed back then. My passion to not live that same life outweighed and got me up every single day. Were there days I had to flip my own script? Yes, because here's the thing. People are addicted to your energy. That's the thing. So if you're feeling want and you're exhausted and tired, your recruiting is not probably going to be great. And those who you're recruiting they're attracted to what they see, what you mirror. That's what you get. And so you're going to get in the mirror, have an honest conversation with yourself, right? The person in the mirror. And you have to decide, okay, I can leave yesterday behind me. All I can do is learn from it and grow. But I can use that as a guide to say, but this is where I'm going. I don't have to be that person anymore. I get to decide. And I will tell you, I'm going to leave you guys with this. This is like one of my all-time favorite. I have to find it because I wasn't gonna, I didn't plan to share it. This is like my all-time like favorite little like morning hype when I was, especially in a time that I just needed it, because sometimes you need to remember what you have at your fingertips. And so this is from the Wisdom Warrior. It's a quote from the Wisdom Warrior, and it's one that I just absolutely love. And it's called I Choose. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it here because you know how it goes. I have like 1,000 gazillion pictures. And now I'm like, you know what? You guys need to hear this, because you do get to choose. You get to choose whether or not you pick up this business and you run with it to its full potential, because it's there. It's not the fact that it's not there. We have the products, we have the compensation plan. How you guys choose to duplicate is how it's going to pay you long-term. So here's what I want to leave you with. And Jade, I hope I've answered the majority of all your questions, and I'll hop back on another time too. I choose to live by choice and not by chance. And I choose to be motivated, not manipulated. I choose to be useful and not used. I choose to make changes, not excuses. I choose to excel, not compete. I choose self-esteem, not self-pity. I choose to listen to my inner voice and not the random opinion of others. I choose to do the things you won't so I can continue to do the things you can't. You guys, you get the opportunity every single day to wake up and offer an opportunity of hope, whether that be in our products to feel better about yourself, or whether that's an opportunity to go out and change somebody's life. Maybe a girl who grew up in a trailer park, who doesn't have a high school education except through a GED, who made a decision that she deserved better, that she was worth more. And so she decided she wasn't going to listen to the random opinion of others, that she was only as good as. And she decided to realize that she was born for more. That's what you guys get to choose. And when you start to understand the power of that, it doesn't matter if they sign up for a day because they chose themselves for a day, or if it's 6 years. All we get to do is offer them the choice and then show them the way to go feed themselves and to grow a business that they can look back and go, wow, I did that. That's what we get to do. So now you get to decide whether or not you go and make 6 figures a month or 7 figures, because let me tell you something, when we model it out, the comp plan can pay it. So who's going to go get the money on the table? Don't settle for the scraps on the floor when we dine at an endless buffet. You guys are worth so much more.
I think that, from this point, it's kind of like okay, so what am I doing then? And like I said, I don't know how else to say it. I'm grateful for every single one of you guys. We've been through hell, dude. Like I've been through hell and back again. I've seen like crazy things. I'm like, I never thought I would have to navigate like this in my life and this in my business and social media changing and this happening and whatever. And like, there's some point, and Meredith said this to me. She was like, but at some point we have to just let that be like the past, so we can just move forward now. Like, that's it. That's all you can do. We can't dwell. We can't be angry. You can't be bitter, because that is just going to continue to be a ball and chain on your life and on your dreams and on your business. And like, no wonder you're tired. You know what I mean? So from this point, you get to decide if this is going to be the standard of your business, building a quality business just like this, or if you're just going to like, fear is going to be like, oh, I don't know, but what if you just didn't, what if you know the people and they're not doing it, and I just got to try to, and I just got to, and you're going to fall, you're going to have to fight that, and you're going to have to learn a new way. But my friend, who again is in another company that's built like this, what's so cool, you guys, is because you're so freaking good. And I would love to just say the other F word, but like, you're just so damn good at this business. You guys know I would too, but Meredith's here, so I won't. You're so good at this business that the numbers are going to come so much quicker. Like those ratios are going to come so much quicker, but like how much more fun would you have in your business when all of a sudden you're 50 wide and you've got like, 3 diamonds on your top line, you've got like 11 emeralds, maybe 16 rubies, and like, 12 executives. I don't know, I might have like messed up the math at that point, but like at some point you're just like, I'm so good at this and I'm so good at teaching people that like, and your income's so substantial, you're like paying for your life, you're doing the things that you want to, that it just becomes fun. And it's just about serving people and just doing what you do best. That shift will happen. You have to get there first. And that's the first thing. You're like a brand new distributor. I wish we could change the name of our company for the sake of it, like mentally feeling like a brand new thing, because in a year from now, this is going to be a whole different ball game and you get to have a leg up now. And that's what I said to her. I want to change what we're doing now. Like, what can I do right now? Because I'm like ready for that. I know you guys have been hungry for that too. So I hope that tonight you guys make that choice. And from now on, what you hear from me will be this. And the people that enroll tomorrow will know nothing but this. And the people that enroll, a year from now will know nothing but this. So this is our standard. And I want you guys to take a minute to think, well, shit, like I enroll like 20 people every single month. We're in 12 months from now. Holy cow, I'm going to have like 200 people on my top line. Someone's got to be doing their thing. Right? Like, oh my God, if I'm good at this, I can teach someone else how to be good at this. Imagine what would happen. And then I want you guys to envision what you're going to be doing in the next 5 months. So we're going to put our heads down together and we're going to focus on the next 5 months. For me, it's going to be at least 10 people every month and making sure I'm doing these cycles and plugging them into the systems that are there. And we'll train more like tomorrow and on the system. So you guys get really good on that. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this tonight, Meredith. And I just appreciate your wisdom so much because like I said, you guys, I told you, we prayed for her. She's like incredible and amazing. And I think everybody's just so very much excited. Everybody say thank you. And we really, really appreciate it.
No, thank you. I'm so grateful that you guys allowed me to share and that you were tuned in. And hopefully you got a little something out of this, but now more than anything, let's go implement it. So thank you, Jade, so much. I cannot wait to celebrate your accomplishments because that's what I love to do. So let's go out and crush it. Thank you so very much.
All right, guys, have a good night.